Have you ever faced a difficult negotiation, competed fiercely in business, or tried to outwit a savvy opponent? Life is full of strategic interactions, situations where your decisions depend crucially on others' choices. In their powerful and practical guide, The Art of Strategy, Dixit and Nalebuff reveal how game theory, the science of strategic thinking, can improve your decision-making, help you anticipate others' moves, and lead you to greater success. This book received rating of 3.8 stars on Goodreads. Readers appreciate this book for its engaging blend of rigorous theory and relatable real-world examples. This is more than just a book. It's an essential tool to sharpen your thinking, see hidden opportunities, and make smarter moves in both business and everyday life. If you find value in this summary, please support our channel by liking and subscribing. Stick around for additional insightful book recommendations at the end. The Art of Strategy by Avinash Dixit and Nalebuff. Understanding strategic thinking, seeing beyond your next move. Understanding game theory's strategic core. Game theory reveals how choices are shaped not just by individual goals, but by anticipating others' decisions. In any strategic interaction, whether between rivals, allies, or competitors, success depends on predicting and influencing the actions of others. From business negotiations to sports tactics, game theory offers a roadmap for smarter decisions by analyzing every player's perspective. Learning from the prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma captures a common trap in strategic thinking. Two individuals, acting rationally to protect themselves, end up worse off. Each prisoner is offered a deal: betray the other, and go free if the other stays silent. But if both betray, they each get 5 years. If both stay silent, they only get 1 year. The fear of being the one betrayed pushes both to confess, even though mutual silence would have been better. This dynamic appears in business too. Companies in a price war may slash prices to outdo rivals, but both suffer losses. If they held steady, profits would remain healthy. The dilemma teaches that in competitive environments, cooperation and trust, though risky, can lead to better collective outcomes. Distinguish between single-shot and repeated games. Your strategy dramatically shifts, depending on whether the situation is a one-time event or a recurring interaction. For example, if you negotiate a price with a vendor you'll never see again, you might drive a harder bargain. But if you expect ongoing dealings, maintaining goodwill becomes essential. Relationships matter, so play the long game by investing in trust and cooperation. Question dominant strategies. Sometimes one decision seems superior regardless of what others do. A dominant strategy. But Dixit and Nalebuff caution against blind reliance on dominance. Suppose your competitor is irrational or poorly informed. Your carefully reasoned plan might backfire. For example, in an auction, your dominant high bid could lead you into the winner's curse, paying more than an item's true value. Flexibility and caution often trump dogmatic adherence to seemingly dominant moves. Bit to remember: great strategists look several moves ahead. Carefully consider the web of mutual influence. Distinguish between short and long-term interactions, and remain flexible even when a move seems obviously best. Shaping the game. Commitments, threats, and promises. Power of commitment. Strategically limiting your options can give you an edge. For instance, legendary conqueror Hernán Cortés famously burned his ships upon arriving in Mexico. Without retreat as an option, his soldiers fought fiercely and succeeded. Similarly, businesses like Southwest Airlines limit their markets deliberately to become highly efficient in those areas. discouraging competitors from entering. Strategic commitment signals confidence, deterring rivals effectively. Making credible threats and promises. A threat or promise is only effective if it's believable. If you threaten legal action against a competitor, you must be willing to follow through. Likewise, a money-back guarantee from a business signals genuine confidence in a product. For instance, Amazon's easy return policy builds consumer trust, significantly boosting sales. Ensure your commitments appear credible and achievable to influence outcomes positively. Choosing first or second mover advantages. Being first can shape a market. Think Apple launching the iPhone, redefining smartphones. But sometimes, watching from the sidelines and learning from competitors' mistakes, like Google entering the mobile OS market after Apple, can offer substantial benefits. Assess your context carefully. Is leading or following more advantageous in your situation? Using unpredictability. Strategically, predictability can become your biggest weakness, especially in competitive environments like football. Imagine a football coach who always uses the same strategy. Opponents quickly learn and adapt, nullifying his team's advantage. By varying plays, formations, or tactics, a coach keeps opponents guessing, forcing them to prepare broadly rather than specifically. Similarly, businesses gain advantage by periodically shifting their marketing strategies or launching surprise products, preventing rivals from anticipating their next move. Bit to remember. Shape the strategic environment through credible commitments, careful timing, and calculated unpredictability. Influence how others play the game. Don't merely react to their moves. Cooperation versus competition. Finding the right balance. Learning from the prisoner's dilemma. The prisoner's dilemma vividly illustrates the challenge of trust in strategic interactions. Two rational individuals might betray each other, producing a worse outcome for both. Businesses often face similar dilemmas. Price wars can devastate entire industries. By signaling cooperation, companies can avoid mutual destruction, boosting long-term profitability for everyone involved. The power of reputation. In repeated interactions, reputation becomes your greatest asset. Think of a mechanic known locally for honesty. Customers flock to him without hesitation. Conversely, a reputation for deception can lead to isolation. Invest in fairness and reliability. A positive reputation draws future cooperative opportunities your way. Knowing when to compete. While cooperation often yields long-term benefits, certain situations demand fierce competition. For example, during auctions for limited resources, competition is unavoidable. Strategically outbidding competitors without overspending ensures optimal outcomes. Recognize clearly when competition is necessary and enter confidently. Avoiding exploitation. Cooperation doesn't mean being naive. Always ensure mutual interests align. Joint ventures, partnerships, or collaborative projects should incentivize fairness. Contracts and monitoring mechanisms discourage cheating, protecting you from exploitation and ensuring all parties uphold agreements. Bit to remember. Balancing cooperation and competition skillfully means understanding when to collaborate, when to compete aggressively, and how to protect yourself effectively in both scenarios. Game theory in real-life situations. Navigating auctions and bidding wars, auctions demand strategic finesse. Overenthusiastic bidding causes the notorious winner's curse, overpaying simply to win. Maintain rationality by setting firm maximum bids and refusing to be emotionally swayed. Negotiation mastery. Negotiations require tactical awareness. Guard your critical information closely. For instance, never reveal your reservation price, Lowest acceptable deal, too early. Skilled negotiators create value through carefully orchestrated exchanges, revealing information strategically to influence the final agreement positively. Voting and influence. In collective decisions, like elections, committees, or organizational politics, strategic voting can influence outcomes. Understanding coalitions, alliances, and agenda setting allows savvy individuals to steer decisions without needing outright majorities. Everyday life strategies, from splitting bills at dinner to household chores negotiations, applying strategic thinking helps solve daily dilemmas amicably. Recognize incentives, align interests, and anticipate reactions to achieve smoother interactions. Even mundane issues benefit from thoughtful strategic reasoning. Bit to remember. Game theory isn't reserved for academics. It empowers everyday people to improve real-world outcomes through thoughtful, strategic action. The art of strategy shows that success in business, relationships, and life involves anticipating others' moves, shaping interactions strategically, balancing competition with cooperation, and applying strategic thinking daily. Mastering these principles helps you navigate complex situations with clarity, confidence, and consistent success. If you enjoyed this summary, consider these insightful books: Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, Negotiation Genius by Deepak Malhotra and Max Bazerman, Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely, The Strategy of Conflict by Thomas Schelling, Influence by Robert Cialdini, Co-Opetition by Adam Brandenburger and Barry Nalebuff.